We all know there are Laker fans worldwide, but how does a fan start a podcast in Baltimore, of all places? Kristin Smith caught up with the founder of Lakers Central, Alex Hollingsworth, to find out.
Alex, you founded Lakers Central it was 2017, right? Tell me how it was born.
I've been a Laker fan forever, and I was complaining one day about like the media coverage of the Lakers. We were bad in 2017, as you probably know. And I was just complaining about how the team was covered. And my wife was like, why don't you start a podcast? I literally went on YouTube and watched like hundreds of hours of video about podcasting back in 2017. And out of that, Laker Central was born. I had a MacBook and I bought like a microphone on Amazon. And I was in my basement and I would talk to different people about the Lakers, just casual fans or whatever. And then the show started to pick up a little bit of steam, I guess. People on social media were paying attention to it.
You have this glorious dream podcast and it's blowing up and it's Lakers this, Lakers that. You have Lakers everywhere, Lakers in your heart, and you're not a native.
No, not at all. This is how I became a Laker fan. I was a huge Shaq fan when he was at LSU. Loved Shaq. And when he went to the Lakers, and they traded for Kobe that same year, 96. When I was coming of age, like Shaq and Kobe were like they were it, right, in sports. My grandmother had been diagnosed the second time with breast cancer. She passed away 2 years later. And through that time, one of the few things that like brought me any kind of joy when I was 17 and she died was the Lakers.
We're coming up on the 1 year anniversary of Kobe's passing. How does that make you feel?
A year prior to him passing, my mom passed away from breast cancer also. Like all that emotion from my mom dying a year prior, and now this guy that like you think these athletes are like superhuman, like they're going to be around forever, or at least they're going to be around until like they're really old. You don't think that someone's going to die in their early 40s.
What would you say the memory that sticks out in your mind the most is?
I was fortunate enough to be at his final game. So my wife and I, we got married just about 6 years ago. I said, do you mind if we do like part of our honeymoon in LA? A month later, he releases that letter and he says, he's retiring. His body just can't do it anymore. It was amazing. Like that is to be a part of that, like, a part of my honeymoon, to be in LA, his final game, and to see him go off that way. It was crazy.
Anything surprising for you that sticks out along your journey so far, just being a part of Laker Nation?
The fact that people care about what I tweet about or what I podcast about or what I put on YouTube. Like, that's nuts. Like 19 million people have seen my tweets in the last 4 months. 19 million people. And I'm just a regular guy that loves the Lakers. I just can't fathom that many people would be paying attention.
That was a great story. Thank you, Kristin. And Lakers Central, go check it out if you haven't already. Kobe's last game, I was there too. It was unbelievable.